the basics. I feel like the first day of training camp went.
I think it went very well. We talked about laying the foundation again. These guys, a lot of these young guys that, between Paolo and Caleb, understanding the basics of what we're doing. They got a lot of it during Summer League, but we were able to continue that foundation that we laid last year. And we talk about starting it off with transition defense first and foremost, then moving into different situations we're going to be in during games. But I thought the energy, the effort, and the spirit was absolutely there for each one of these guys.
How are you finding that balance between building off of what you had last year, especially because you have a lot of guys who were on that team, but also, you do have Paolo, you do have Caleb, you have a few guys who maybe aren't as familiar with what you guys are doing?
Well, the great part about this is that we have unbelievable coaches that will continue to teach, grab guys separately, and take them with film and walk them through. And we have a number of coaches that, if a drill breaks down and we need to move a guy off, the other coaches on the sideline can sit and communicate with them the things that we need. And then you also look at a lot of these guys played Summer League. So the foundation we've based with that is similar to now, just at a different level.
Collectively, what kind of shape do these guys arrive in for camp?
Well, in my mind, I think they're going to always continue to need more conditioning, because our youth is to our advantage in that way, that we can continue to get up and down, play with a faster pace with how we're doing things. But I think they were in pretty good shape for the moment, but we're going to continue to go at that.
How do you think the coming storm is going to affect the schedule?
I think we're just going to keep monitoring it and see how we go about doing things. And it will just obviously, safety is going to be the first priority for these guys and their families. So what we'll do is just keep monitoring and see what we need to continue to do.
How are they reacting? I'm sure some of them, this is their first hurricane that they've ever experienced.
Well, you're going to hear the different stories about it and what could happen, a lot of what ifs. We just want to make sure that they're prepared for whatever could happen, but understanding that we just have to monitor it and make sure we give them the correct information versus a lot of the what if information.
Were you guys, was somebody talking about that in the huddle just now?
Yes, we were just communicating that with the guys, the things that we could be prepared for, what we'll do for them, but just to continue to monitor as the storm, as we track it and see what we can do as for practices and bringing these guys back in.
Is this a first for you?
Yes, it is a first for me as well.
You mentioned that Summer League training camp for some of the other guys, Paolo, Caleb. How much is this camp similar in that regard, and how do you think that prepares them for what to expect this week?
Well, that's exactly right. So being able to conduct the Summer League practices, our coaches that have been here and being able to do the same things that we did. It's always about the fundamentals, the foundation that's being laid. So it's very similar to what they've seen. Now it's just going to be at probably a faster clip, and we're not going to hold on as long to some of the mistakes. They go to the side, talk to the coaches, get that moved on, but they're getting the information they need, and they'll get up to speed.
Just based on roster personnel, how good of a defensive team do you think this could be long term?
We have a chance to be special defensively. I think as the guys understand our terminology, as they understand positioning on the floor, as the game slows down for them, between our length and our physicality and our strength, I think we have a chance to be pretty darn good defensively.
Coach, there were quite a few additions to the entire basketball operations staff over the course of the summer. How much easier is it for you preparing when you have all those resources?
It's phenomenal. You talk about the facility and what it has and the people that have come on board. And we've done a great job of meeting. Jeff, John, and Alex, they've done a great job of getting everyone together to explain the message, to explain the language that we're using when we're talking about practices, what we're doing in certain situations. So everybody's on board. So you have a lot of people echoing the same message.
You mentioned that you guys are monitoring the situation with the hurricane. Is practice still scheduled for later today and even tomorrow and Thursday?
Well, right now practice is scheduled for this evening, and we'll monitor, tomorrow and Thursday and see how we go. That's going to be the continued level of monitoring.
Did you ring the bell today, or is it too early for that?
Right now, it's too early for that. We had a couple opportunities, but it was mainly a defensive practices. We had some dives on the floor. We had a fake charge taken. It wasn't actually official, so I couldn't ring the bell on that one. But we're going to get to that more as we play a little bit more live.
Coach, how much better was the learning curve this year versus this time last year, where you're just getting so many guys caught up to terminology and the
shells of what you're trying to install.
No, that's great. That's exactly what we've done. It's a lot faster for these guys to understand it. And the one thing that we're challenging each one of these guys that was here last year is to grab someone that was not here or someone that maybe didn't play a lot of minutes to be able to explain the things that we're doing. We talk about doing it by committee, and these guys understand that I've got to help the man next to me. Like, we just finished a drill at the end, was a defensive drill where the guys on the floor didn't talk, and we made the guys off the floor communicate what those coverages were, so we know that those guys, those 5 guys in the game, they can hear the bench talking and communicating them what we're supposed to be doing.
Jeff Bowman told us yesterday that he's not going to be able to play in camp, but what is Gary Harris able to do right now? Saw him shooting around with the guys that they practice.
That's exactly right, Kobe. What he's able to do is communicate those things to these guys, because he's been in so many situations. His veteran experience and his playoff experience has really given him an edge with these young guys, and he pulls them aside, communicates the little things that, you know, are the little small parts of the game that some people aren't able to see. He can give you those little tidbits and those secrets to these young guys as they go through camp and what to expect.
So physically shooting, I guess, where his limits really go in terms of physically what he's able to do during practices?
Right now, he's doing his personal rehab, and however he's going to respond to that on the scale that they have him. But he's limited to just kind of walking and moving around and talking to guys and making sure he's doing that.
You obviously have the things that you're focused on in practice, but did you find that with so many guys back from last year, you're able to pick things up quickly and keep things moving today?
That's exactly right. It kind of just jumped right into what we were doing. So I put on the board, and I'll do it every day, the focus of the day. Because as we build and we grow, we understand that it's going to continue to be about us and what we're doing. So the focus today was obviously starting off in transition. Defense, that's going to be our number one priority. Then you move into being able to sit down in a stance, how we're guarding. Then you move into one-on-one defense and then pick and roll defense. So all the aspects of the game that these guys are going to see, we want to hit them with the fundamentals first, and then you'll get into specific game planning, but they got to get the fundamentals down first.
You noted that you were able to kind of take guys off to the side if they were having struggle with the drill or correct mistakes. Is that something that you wouldn't have been able to do last year? Like, how did you make use of the space here for your first
You're absolutely right. The space is unbelievable. Sometimes you got to find where guys are because there is so much room. But that's also the phenomenal part about all the staff that we've added. You have each one of them that understands what we're teaching these guys, because they've also been here last year. And so by committee, each one is teaching one.
That also, kind of following up on his question, taking off guys to the side more.
Yeah.
Is that also more not letting guys play through certain mistakes or playing through compared to last year?
Well, that's a big portion of it. We talk about their ability to level up, and that is the attention to detail. When you're listening, if there was someone in front of you doing a drill and you spaced out in one of them and didn't pay attention, then it's going to be the next group's turn to come on, because the attention to detail that we need to have and limiting mistakes and playing a level of consistent basketball is what we're asking these guys to do. It's still going to be about growth. It's still going to be about them getting better, but also understanding that curve is, going to tighten up a little bit.
With Franz, considering that he played 2 months of basketball, is there a different integration process for him just because of, I guess, the workload he had with Germany?
We keep monitoring where he is. You don't want to overdo it with him, but he's a guy that's also going to push through. He's someone that also understands what he needs to do for this team as becoming someone that can also lead. But he does a great job communicating, knowing when he can step in, knowing when he's going to step out. But for the most part, he's going to be in the majority of our drills and our practices. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. You guys have a great one.
Yeah, you too.
Year 2 for you for training camp. You feel like things are slowing down a little bit too and getting back into the swing of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's my first time being here for a couple of weeks, so got to get used to that again. Obviously, different calls and terms like that, so I'm getting used to that, but should be coming back to me quickly.
Jamahl was saying this is a chance to be a special defensive team. Are you seeing those signs early?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got a lot of big bodies that can move really well, a lot of long arms, and yeah, I think in theory that should translate. But it's all about effort, communication, those kind of things, and how we communicate just on the court.
Jamahl been asking about the hurricane. I know he hasn't too. Just, I'm assuming you've never experienced a hurricane before, and any concerns for you? Kind of what has the discussion been like with the group?
Yeah, we just talked about it. Yeah, obviously I'm nervous because I've never experienced anything like this. So trying to kind of listen to everybody here, what they're telling us. Making sure we have everything at home, and just trying to be safe.
Jamahl and Jalen both mentioned a different level of accountability from a coaching standpoint and player standpoint compared to last year. What does that look like on maybe a drill-to-drill or even play-to-play basis? First practice this year, first practice last year.
I mean, it's tough for me to compare to both days now, but I think it's just, coach a lot of times stop the group, in the middle of the drill or send them away in the next group or so on. So I think that hits home with guys that, you got to be focused on every drill. And, it also gives us, that confidence and that we're all on the same page. Look, this is what is expected from us, and that gives everybody else the opportunity to hold each other accountable when it doesn't happen.
You're coming off playing highly competitive basketball for 2 months straight with Germany. What's it been like, I guess, integrating back into the magic and the team, not just in terms of the lingo, but also just the body? Because you just played, I think it was last weekend or last Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a little challenge. Played a lot of basketball the last couple of weeks, but I want to work with everybody together to make sure that we do it safely and in an effective way. I'm confident we can do that.
Your first practice, obviously, with Paolo, or at least in the training camp setting. What has kind of stood out about him in the early going?
I think his maturity. I think he's very focused. Listens really well, very coachable. I think those are the first things. I think with his talent, his body that he has, I think that's the most important thing. If he's coachable, willing to listen to people, I think sky's the limit if he has all those things.
When you first got on the court with Paolo, did it surprise you how big he is, just physically? Because a lot of people say that they weren't expecting him to be this big. They knew his height, but just something about him just be bigger than his actual size.
No, yeah, he's a grown man for sure. He's first time I met him, I remember that too. So should be helping us this year.
How did obviously you're trying to still get enough minutes back here in the States, but how did the first day of practice for this year feel different than last year? Did you notice any growth or anything like that just kind of entering camp today?
I mean, for sure, everybody that's coming back from last year already kind of knows what's expected. Obviously there's some drills that we've already done, so I think that should just let us develop quicker a little bit as a group. But it's always the first day. I think everybody's excited. Just a matter of hopefully we can do that, every day from here on out.
Did it feel like with so many guys back from last year that you guys were picking things up quicker, or you're kind of hitting the ground running a little bit more?
Yeah, that's what I meant when I just said, everybody kind of knows already what's expected. But it's important to have that focus on every drill. Get the new guys involved, and make sure that everybody's on the same page. For everybody, it's the first practice again. Of really getting taught things, so that focus got to be high for us. It's good. Yeah, it's totally fine. Good. Thanks, guys.
Have you ever had to, experience hurricane-related concerns before?
Absolutely not. We got the polar vortex up in Minnesota. I couldn't be outside for more than 4 minutes with skin exposed. That's a kind of crazy thing I've got. A couple heavy snows, but nothing like this. Just praying for everybody's health and safety. Hope everybody gets all the, everything they need, non-perishables, food, water, and stay safe during this time, and, understand that we'll all get through this.
We saw you guys getting the dress after practice. What was the messaging from the team about what you guys can do?
Just to stay safe, start preparing. They are giving us a couple things, some food and some water to take home, but just start to charge everything, gas in the car. Obviously preparing for the worst, but keep the minds, here on getting better, and if we come in, great. If not, then stay safe.
Something like this seems like you guys can almost camp
Hey,
out here.
I brought up that suggestion. I said I will have a lock-in the facility, but I'm like, guess I'll just come home. Sorry.
Year 2 of training camp for you. Do you feel like things are slowing down a little bit? Things are feeling more comfortable for you?
Yeah. I think today, this morning was a great start. I think everyone had a lot of energy. It's just a great time to learn for us. And the coaches this morning did a great job of walking through everything, letting us know what's going to come. Everybody got to see and go through coverages and actions and reads and things like that. So I think everybody's comfort level is really building up, and the attention to detail is there. So as far as the team-wise, it goes to that. But I think it goes to that, personally as well. My attention to detail. not only on my talk, not only on how my defensive assignments, how I'm moving, but on my body language and things like that. Those are small things that, when you're trying to get better that you have to pay attention to. So just continuing to build on those things.
Jamahl was saying this is a chance to be a special defensive team. Are you seeing those signs early as well?
Absolutely. When you have the ability to switch 1 through 5, even when you have Bowl and Mo on the same team, you switch 1 through 5 on the Mo Bamba. You want to blow past him, then you got Bowl in the passing lane, you got Mo's hands in the passing lane and coming for a contest. When you have our 5s and 4s who are doing that, and you're not even talking about Wendell or J.I. or Franz yet, or us guards, it gets pretty scary. So, like I said, we have all the opportunity in the world that we need right here in front of us. We just have to lock in, take care of it, and execute.
Having just gone through training camp last year, are you able to kind of give Paolo or Caleb, some of the other guys, some advice on what they can expect over the course of the week?
Yeah, just trying to share my insight, share my knowledge. I've gotten to see training camp. I've gotten to see a whole NBA season before, and I've been around, this team last year and everything we were trying to instill and, the culture we were trying to create. So just trying to come in here this morning, really help share that message and spread that message across the team, especially the young guys, and, just get all of us on the same page moving forward. That's what this time is for.
How was today different than this time last year when you were entering your first training camp practice? How did you feel today entering things?
A year older. At the end of the day, it's basketball. I think this year the difference is the attention to detail and the focus that everybody has. Everybody here has a strong belief, in what we can accomplish this year, and we aren't settling for anything less than that. So everybody's focus level is high, communication's high, and the energy is high. So I can't wait to keep this thing rolling.
So how is the coaching different, or I guess maybe coaching through drills different than last year in terms of the accountability aspect of it? And you said attention to detail.
Yeah. Like I said, no slip-ups are allowed. We could be walking through a drill 50% and you drop your hands for a couple seconds, your group is off. We did that a lot in our defensive drills. In transition, if you're not fully loaded to the ball, your group is off. So again, like I said, just holding people accountable because we know what we want to accomplish, and anything less than that, we feel like we're letting ourselves down.
When you're on the court there with Paolo and you see how big he is, does it amaze you just the size with the skills that he has? And he's kind of unique, right?
Absolutely. You have someone who's 6'10", 6'11", 250, can handle the ball like a guard, can see it like a guard, but can always take you to the mid-post, to the elbow, look over you and shoot over you. It's difficult for anybody to not only guard, but he has extreme potential on the defensive end as well. When he learns to use his body, use his length, play in passing lanes and just be solid, it's going to be really hard to score him as well. And like I said, that all plays into our defensive potential of this team this year.
Everyone good? All right. Thanks.
How's it going, Paolo?
Good.
If yesterday is like the first day of school, how much was today like the first day of real class? Where you get everything going and installed and get to what the year is really all about?
Yeah, it was a lot of learning, a lot of teaching by coach, just all defensive stuff this practice. So yeah, it was good.
How good defensively do you think you could be?
Me? Yeah. I think I can be great defensively. Obviously I think I kind of got a bad rap in college for whatever reason on defense, but I've always been a pretty solid defender my whole life. So I feel like I can continue that and keep building on it. That's something that all the coaches, they've been helping me and on me about is being a great two-way player. Not only being great offensively, but bringing the same on the defense end. And today was a good start.
Has that been one of your emphasis in practice early, just locking down defensively and trying to be a really good defensive team?
Oh yeah, for sure. We got all the tools to be a great defensive team. We got athletic guards. We got big and athletic bigs, so who can guard all over the perimeter. So we got the makings of a great defensive team.
To the point of your defense, when you look around the league and think of the best players, LeBron or Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant, your defense is something they've progressed with through their careers. Do you kind of see that as kind of a staple for your game as you develop?
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to be known as just an offensive player. I want to be a complete player. Want my teammates to be able to count on me on both ends of the floor.
Was the first NBA practice everything you imagined? What caught you by surprise, if there was anything during your first practice?
I don't think nothing caught me by surprise, but it was definitely everything I expected. High energy, a lot of learning on the fly, but also a good amount of teaching too.
Did you notice any kind of jump from your college days to NBA and like physicality and this tempo of the game just through day one?
Yes. I mean, it's a lot faster. I would say a lot bigger players, more athletic. So that's a little bit of an adjustment. But I've been playing against these guys all summer, so I'm pretty. I think I've adjusted. And just looking forward to getting out and going against somebody else. Next week.
Are there certain goals that you have for training camp? Goals that you discuss with coaches, or just goals that you have internally?
Just to get better, learn all the concepts on offense and defense, and just grow closer as a team.
Assuming you never had to deal with a hurricane before, or maybe you have in North
No,
Carolina.
yeah, never.
What's been the message from the staff about getting you guys prepared for the next few days?
Just staying safe, staying inside. I actually last night took all my stuff off my balcony and all that stuff. I never been in a hurricane, so a little anxious, kind of, just to see what happens. Praying for everybody though, but yeah.
Paolo, I'm sure when you stepped on the court, a lot of times, you're one of the biggest guys. When you go out there during practice and you're out there with Wendell, Bowl, Mo, just how much size is there in this group? And then how much does that help you guys get used to whatever you'll see in an NBA game?
Yeah, it definitely helps a lot, just being able to go up against those guys, big and strong, Bowl, Mo, those guys is, freak athletes even for the NBA. So to have both of them to go against every day is going to help a lot.
How much do you think that, Coach mentioned that summer league training camp to kind of get you in the system, get your feet wet a little bit. How much of that do you think helped prepare you for today and what you'll experience the rest of this week?
Yeah, that helped me. That was similar to what we're going through now, just a different group of guys. I mean, we was doing 2-a-days. That was high intensity as well. So it's kind of similar to this, but obviously it's cranked up a notch, being in the real training camp.
A lot of the players who are returning, there's obviously a lot of players returning from last year, but they've all been talking about the accountability that they're expecting you to reach out. In what ways did you see that kind of play out through today's practice?
The accountability, you said? Yeah, just everyone holding each other accountable, everyone being open to hearing from other teammates, whether it's good or maybe a little bit of a criticism, just not taking it personal and taking the good message from it and applying it to what you got to do.
How would you describe the energy of the team as far as everybody kind of getting along, just the overall chemistry?
It's a lot of good energy. Everybody's excited for what we got going. We play next Monday, so everybody's excited and trying to get ready best as we can.
Everyone good?
Thanks, Paolo.
All right.